Hello, good afternoon everyone. Myself Taneshwari Nula. As I had said you that I'll be handling with this particular subject called as software engineering. And today's class will come across with the next concept there, that is all regarding, we'll be coming across with requirements engineering. Okay, so of course, as when I go through it as a chapter, so it happens to be the fourth chapter there. But if at all I go across with the software process activities, so this happens to be a very first very step towards your engineering there. That is your software engineering. So that is requirements engineering. So as I had spoke to you in my online class also, and I had said you across into the videos also, wherein this happens to be very important step towards your software engineering, because most of you can call it as 60% of errors happen only because of this particular what do you say, this particular activity called as requirements engineering there. Okay, let us come across what all we are going to study here. Okay, so firstly we'll be coming across to know what do you mean by, there are usually, whenever I say requirements, so requirements are collected in two ways. One happens to be functional requirements and other one happens to be non-functional requirements. So we will get across to know in this particular session what do you mean by functional and what do you mean by non-functional. Okay, the second one we'll get across to know with requirement engineering process. Okay, then I will divide this particular PPT presentation into two respective videos because it has a huge coverage there. Okay, then we'll come across to know the next four whatever are there. These are your steps in this requirements engineering, how the requirement is collected. So requirements is collected based on requirement elicitation, then comes specification, validation, requirements change there. One after the another will be coming across. So let us come across to know priorly what do you mean by this requirements engineering there. Okay, so requirements engineering is nothing but wherein you have, this is nothing but it's called out as a process wherein you establish the services that a customer requires from a system. Okay, and you add constraints under which it operates and is developed there. So you are collecting across with what are the customer requirements, then what constraints are to be added and what operations are to be done. The system requirements are the descriptions of the system services and constraints that are generated during the requirements engineering process there. So as I said, it is even including the requirements from the customer side also, and it is even including the requirements from the you being as a developer also. So then let us come across to know with a deeper view of what do you mean by a requirement. So if I say generically, what do you mean by requirement? Requirement is nothing but in other way I call it as my want there. Okay, it may range from, if I go with a definitive term, so it may range from a high level abstract statement of a service or of a system constraint to a detailed mathematical functional specification there. Okay, so it may be the basis for a now, like for example, whenever you are collecting across with a requirement as a term, so it might be on the basis for a bid for a contract, therefore must be open to interpretation. Then it may be the basis for the contract itself, therefore must be defined in detail. Both these statements may be called as requirements. Okay, so then let us come across to know, this is ultimately it's a self-descriptive, you can just go through it. Okay, requirements abstraction. So now it is something like if a company wishes to just go through this, okay, wishes to let a contract for a large software development project there. So then it must, what is the very first do is, it must first define its needs in a sufficiently abstract way that a solution is not predefined. The requirements must be written so that several contractors can bid for the contract. Now, like for example, assume that you are going to buy out a computer or something. So what do you do at that time? You go to the very first vendor, you get the quotation from him. You go to another vendor, you get a quotation from him. So the same way here also, whenever you are projecting across with any kind of a software there, so there are bids which goes across. So based on that large software system what is to be developed and the bids which are being given across, and the one who is a bid giver with a lower price, so that particular software development goes to that particular company there. Okay, so if I go across with types of requirements, as I said you are collecting two types of requirements from two different mediums there, or else and horizon. So what are those? One is what is user requirement, that is it can be explained, any customer can explain it in form of diagrams. Yes, the customer can explain it in form of written things, else it can be a natural language. Now like for example, I can say my want better in Kannada as a language, then it can be English there. Yes, the second one is system requirements there. So system requirement is nothing but it's a structured document there. Okay, what I have with me in form of a user requirements, I take out a structured document for the same and I define it. So that is nothing but and system requirements where ultimately a contract happens between a client and a contractor there. Okay, so this is like for and this is a real and case study here. User requirements. So with respect to user requirements, the Medicare system shall generate monthly management reports there showing the cost of drugs prescribed by each clinic during that month. So this is the user requirement definition there. Whereas if I go across with system requirements, I just say that on the last working day of each month, a summary of the drugs prescribed, their cost, and the prescribing clinics shall be generated. Now, in my other class, if you remember, we had spoke about online attendance system there. Okay, so what are user requirements there and what are system requirements? System requirements, I can say preferred that I want the things to be done for every weekly. I want a month, what is it, and weekly report to be generated. So that's a system requirement. User requirement is you are collecting from a user what are that particular person's wants there. Okay. So when you are reading these requirements there, so when you are collecting user requirements, your what do you say, the users are do not only consider the customer, but apart from customer, they are also your way who feed towards your requirement specification there. Who are they? Client managers, system end users, client engineers, contract managers, system architects there. They are all something like different roles which we take across. Now, like for example, if you are building out for a house or something, so at that time, when I am giving a projection saying what that the house, the entire build can be of so and so cost there. So how I will be projecting that only after consulting different mediums there. Okay, what will be the raw materials which I will be spending, what's the amount which I will be spending on raw materials, how much I will be paying for every category of people there. Okay, like this. Then comes system requirements. System requirements are with users like system end users, client engineers, system architects, and software developers. Okay, they all give you the feed about system requirements. What best is required for a system so that these all user requirements will be fulfilled there. Okay. System stakeholders. Who are system stakeholders there? Stakeholders are end users, system managers, system owners, external stakeholders there. All of them are system stakeholders. Okay. Then with respect to if I take an example of a Medicare system, Medicare is a system is nothing but a case study here. It is taken just like an any hospital management system or something. So there, who are the stakeholders there? Patients, okay, whose information is recorded, doctor who is responsible for that, nurses who coordinate the consultation, medical receptionists who manage the patient appointments, and IT staff who is responsible for installing and maintaining the system at regular intervals. Okay, so the continues the Medicare system stakeholders continues there. Now, like for example, I can have a medical ethics manager who makes sure that your current ethical guidelines for the patient are being given there. Okay, healthcare managers are there who obtain manager information from the system. Okay, medical records. Okay, staff who is responsible of holding all the record of that particular patient there. Okay, so this is one. Then let us come across with, as I had said, we will come across with two types of two categories of requirements there. One is called out as functional and the other one is called out as non-functional. For always keep in mind, for any project you are being hired, okay, else you are doing out across with an project there. So always you are asked out for SRS. SRS stands out for System Requirement Specification. So if anyone asks you system requirement specification, so always keep in mind they are asking you functional and non-functional requirements there. Okay, functional requirements are what the project are you handling, what that project is about to do, that is functional requirement. What is non-functional requirement? Non-functional requirements are such like the size should be only this much, the performance should be so and so. Okay, so these all considers your non-functional one. Okay, of course non-functional do not have any role in a front end there, but have a maximum role in a back end there. Okay, so now like for example, functional requirements, statements of services the system should provide and how the system should react to particular inputs there. Okay, if I have so and so input, what should be the output which is expected there. Okay, may state what the system should not do. Okay, even your functional requirement should be such that it should state what the system should not do there. Okay, then followed out with that we have non-functional requirements there. What are these non-functional requirements? As I said just now, there are many constraints for a non-functional requirements there. Okay, so it can be what are the things which are being considered there. Okay, like for example, as I said, it can be the memory, it can be the what is the size of the software and other things there. Domain requirements are with respect to a system as a whole. It constraints on the system from the domain of an operation there. Okay, so functional requirements, if I want to say it more briefly, it describes functionality of system services. Okay, it entirely depends on the type of a software, expected users, and type of system, okay, where the software is used. Okay, that is what category of people are using that particular system there. Okay, then comes your functional user requirements might be maybe high level statements of what the system should do. Okay, and functional system requirements should describe the system services in detail. System services are nothing but, as I said you, what all a system must possess there. Okay, now what all the system must possess and what the system must not do there. Okay, if at all I keep an limitation saying or that, for keep and take an example of adding the sum of two numbers there. Okay, I keep a limitation saying or that a should not be greater than 10, b should not be greater than 20. So that is, it should not accept any inputs greater than 10 or greater than 20 there for a and b respectively. So these are all your system services. Okay, for a Mendcare system, what can be the functional requirements there? The user shall be able to search the appointment list. Okay, the system shall generate each day the reports there, every day what are the reports, or how many patients have visited, who number of doctors there. Okay, each staff member using the system shall be uniquely identified by an identification and employee number there. Okay, so it is all with respect to the requirements there. Okay, so in the same way, ambiguous requirements should not be included. Okay, always keep in mind, ambiguous requirements are like, for example, sometimes you might not judge with a requirement there. Okay, might be interpreted in a very different way. Okay, so that's why be very appropriate with the requirements whatever you are specifying there. Okay, and if at all the functional requirements are not stated properly, so there might be a major errors or problems which you will be facing there. Okay, so now like for example, you require and search in a requirement to be done, always keep in mind. So either it might affect the user intention or else it might affect the developer interpretation there. So now like for example, if I consider user intention, so it is search for a patient name across all appointments in all clinics there, and developer interpretation is search for a patient name in an individual clinic. User chooses clinic, then search. Okay, the requirements whatever you are giving, always keep in mind they should be combinative of these two features with it. One is they should be complete and they should be consistent. What do you mean by complete? Do not accept any kind of incomplete information. Always keep in mind, incomplete work is equals to null. Okay, always keep in mind, and complete work should be there and complete requirement specification should be there. Okay, else it will be entirely a wrong interpretation and we might fail with the system with what we are working. Then it should be consistent. The requirement specification whatever you have used, okay, they should not conflict, or else they should behave in the same way for the way or else for the use whatever it has to be done. Okay, then non-functional requirements, as I said you, those are, it can be as I said, it can be the capability of the system representations, all of them considers across with your non-functional requirements there, like reliability, what's the response time, what's the storage requirements and all those things. Okay, just come across with this particular huge block diagram here. You can just come across. Non-functional requirements are, if I consider with in perspective of product requirements, it goes accordingly as efficiency, dependability, security, usability. Okay, if efficiency, I say performance and space. Okay, non-functional even includes organizational requirements. Okay, what an organization requires. Okay, what are these organization requirements? I'll be looking across with the environment around that organization. How is the functioning of that organization? what are the latest developments which have went across with an organization there. Okay. Else there is one more subcategory under this non-functional requirements, and that is external requirements. What are those? Those are two types here. One is regulatory and one more is ethical. Okay, and one more is legislative. Okay, so there are some external regulatories are nothing but the usual laws which an organization should follow, and even we have to follow. The second one is ethical requirements. There should be some ethics, as I had said you in my very first class also. Okay, you have to be ethical whenever you are using any software goods there, and it should be legislative. As I said you, accountability should be there with what you are using there, and whatever you are using should be safe and secure. Okay, so with the same one, non-functional requirements, he has explained with a little more effect with the same. Okay, so the same thing as I explained just now: product requirements, organizational, external requirements. Okay, so if at all I take across with a Mendicare, product requirements are nothing but Mendicare system shall be available now. Like for example, downtime. Sometimes we say that the server is down for so many normal working hours there. Okay, and it cannot exceed more than 5 seconds in one day or something like that. Okay, so these are all your non-functional requirements. You have to make sure that your system is performing accordingly. Okay, now organizationals are nothing but users of a Mendicare system shall authenticate themselves using that identity card. So that's an organizational requirement. External requirements are any patient related information should be confidentially been maintained there. Okay, so ultimate goal and requirements is non-functional requirements may be very difficult to state precisely, and imprecise requirements may be difficult to verify there. Okay, but what's our general goal there? A general intention of a user such as ease of use. Ultimately my goal is that should be ease at use there. Very verifiable non-functional requirement should be used. Okay, then that is a statement using some measure that can be objectively tested there. Okay, goals are helpful to developers as they convey the intentions of the system users. Okay, then comes one more, as I had said you, usability requirements. What are these usability requirements? Usability requirements are nothing but should be easy to use. Whatever system you are building, that is your minimum goal there. It should be easy to use there. Minimum, such as the use of the user error should be minimized there. Okay, usually the medical staff should be given a training for what system are they using it. Okay, so then after only the training, it should start across with the usage of that. Okay, so some metrics are there. What are these metrics? Metrics are nothing but in what ways is non-functional requirements measured there. Okay, it is being measured into these 6 different metrics there. What are those? Speed, size, ease of use, reliability, robustness, portability. Okay, speed is nothing but which defines about a system there. How speed is your system? Okay, if anything I am using, if at all it is not a good speed or something, yeah, app or whatever software you are using, we straight away define it. We say that it's not working properly. So at that time, what we are actually measuring? We are measuring backend processed transactions per second, user or event response time, screen refresh time. Okay, size, which we take across with the size of that particular software. Ease of use is what's the training time and number of help frames. Okay, so that all considers across with your ease of use there. Then comes is reliability. Reliability says that what's the mean time to failure. Okay, that is probability for how long duration is it unavailable. Okay, what's the failure of occurrence, rate of failure of occurrence. Okay, robustness is if anything fails across, what is the time taken for it to recover back or restart it. Okay, then the last one is portability. So whatever I look across with a software or something, if at all it is working on a desktop system, I want the same thing should work on my tab also, should work on my, nowadays we are come across with smartphones, it should work there. So that is portability ultimately. Okay, so these are your metrics which are to be specified for a non-functional requirements there. Okay, so in our next class we'll come across with the requirement engineering processes there. Okay, thank you.